9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
All right, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Nice. It's not really nice looking, is it? It's kind of overcast. Yeah, I like it when it's overcast, though. Don't you sometimes like an overcast day?
Oh, I do.
You don't like a lot of them in a row, but every once in a while it's nice to have kind of a dark day, especially this time of year, I guess.
Yeah, it was a bright moon this morning, and of course daylight savings time begins this Sunday, and Halloween, so I think everything's falling into place.
I'm looking forward to Halloween. Here's why. Because I actually like waiting for the kids to come by.
Uh-huh.
Plus, I can eat those little tiny candy bars that I get.
Oh, yeah.
Those little tiny Mr. Good bars.
Yeah.
Those little tiny, everything's little tiny. little tiny candies that I give out to the kids.
I know. I love those. I think they're so good.
Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Oh, I've been waiting for Galen. Ever since I kind of was interested in this baseball story. I'll explain in a second. Hey, Galen, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Pretty good. Where are you?
I'm in the tree zone.
In the tree zone.
Oh, I love that. It's like old times.
It's a comfortable place to talk about sports, right? The tree zone.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Believe it or not, that's my topic today.
I heard you this morning. So,
oh, did you? Okay, good. Good.
Great story, isn't it? Great story.
Which about the dad dying?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I think it's a great story. I know it's tragic in a lot of ways, but
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
He had a really good relationship with both his parents and his father.
Sure.
So for those who don't know, the starting pitcher for the Royals, with their first game of the World Series last night, the father died while the pitcher was on his way to play the first game.
Yeah.
So
right.
And I guess
in baseball, like no other sport, it's a game that is passed down from father to son, father to child, I should say, because you learn how to play baseball in your front yard, in your backyard, just throwing the ball with your father and or whoever your father figure is, and that's how, unlike any other sport, baseball has that connection. So. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is neat.
Pretty cool in that regard.
Neat.
So did that happen to you with your dad, and did that happen to you with your sons?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the key.
Well, and you have both elements of today's conversation, because not only was your dad into sports and so were you, but your dad was into broadcasting and so were you. So are you.
Sure.
So I want to make sure we get to the blood part of this, but let me just jump to the chase a little bit. The guy who was announcing for the game last night, I wasn't listening to. I was listening to Joe Buck. Yeah. Everybody's hating on this guy. I don't know why.
And you know what? Because I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And in case people haven't heard the story, Volquez last night, who was the starting pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, his father died last night, and his wife knew, and his wife told the team, don't tell him, let him pitch, we'll talk to him after the game. And so we're not sure who exactly knew within the Royals organization. We don't know if other teammates knew, but Fox made an intentional that they were not going to mention it on the broadcast.
Right.
They were not going to bring it up. And then, of course, they brought it up in the fourth inning, and they had the technical difficulties. And so I read some things that they should have mentioned it. And to me, it was only news to the family at that point. You know, it became a topic of conversation around the game and on Twitter and things like that. But I appreciated Fox News doing that.
And it sounded like the right thing to do to me too. Does Joe Buck work for Fox?
Yes.
Oh.
He's the broadcaster.
So is that why they were hating on him, because they held it back?
That's the impression I got. Yeah, and then whenever you're a broadcaster of that level, people just hate on you no matter what you do. This is okay, and that's where this became a bigger story for me, because here's why. Okay, and this is how I compared it earlier, because I do music, so I play a few musical instruments. When I see somebody playing one of the instruments I play, I can be very critical of that person. When I see somebody playing an instrument I have never even touched, I'm like in awe.
and it's hard for me to say anybody's bad unless it's like really obvious, And so, and so I do broadcasting, but I don't do sports broadcasting, and I certainly don't do play-by-play. I mean, somebody like Tom Schmitz, who has mastered that art, or
James,
some of the guys we've known, all those guys. Galen is in that group too.
Galen too, sure.
Okay. Here's the thing: when you're at that level and you're a national broadcaster, that means you're not a homer. You can't pull for one team over the other. You go to different cities every week and broadcast different games. You are going to upset the locals for some reason because they'll feel slighted.
Okay, that makes sense.
The other part of it is that Joe Buck is probably one or two as far as sports broadcasters right now in America, and he covers all the big games, Super Bowls, World Series. He was at the U.S. Open this year. I mean, he does all the big events, and with that comes some jealousy.
Okay.
Because having done it, everybody who's a sports fan thinks they could do sports play-by-play or sports talk radio or all of those things.
Okay. All right. Is it fair to say though that everything you just said does not apply in the college world? I mean, it seems like everybody loves Mick Hubert.
Different.
Everybody loves,
and that's a difference because Mick Hubert is a homer. Mick Hubert is a homer. He's a Gator fan,
and it's the only thing he ever broadcast.
Apologize because he doesn't have to be neutral.
Yeah. Okay.
He doesn't. But Joe Buck has to be neutral. Gary Daniels.
All right.
And Vern Lindquist have to be neutral.
So the topic today, and it's really for my educational purposes. I wanted to tell you that according to Connor Muldowney, he's a sports writer. He had an article. And he listed the 25 most annoying broadcasters in sports.
Oh, this will be good. If Phil Simms isn't on it, it's not a good list.
I'll tell you this: he is on it. I already know the list a little bit. All right.
Horrible.
All right. But Howard Cosell is not. And Robin was asking me this. I think these are all contemporary guys. These are all guys who are out there now.
Yeah, Howard Cosell's a long time ago. I mean, I've been broadcasting over 20 years.
Okay, so that's just so you know that this is not digging deep into history, into the anal of baseball.
Exactly, like 5 decades ago.
Dead. I think Howard Cosell's been dead for 20 years.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
I'm going back 5 decades.
Howard Cosell was he changed the world of sports. Single-handedly changed the world.
But he crossed the line too from sports to celebrity because of his relationship with Muhammad Ali.
That's how he changed sports.
Okay.
You are exactly right.
Right. And because of his he was show busy. Yeah.
Wore toupee.
And Muhammad Ali, by the way, was very show busy.
Oh, yes.
He understood.
There was no prime time sports before Howard Cosell.
Oh, really?
People need to remember that. Yeah, I
didn't know that.
There wasn't. It was a Monday Night Football was because of Howard Cosell.
All right, so we have two.
It was on the year before he was there, but it was horrible, and they brought Howard on, and then it became what it is today.
Right.
Well,
take the next 2 minutes to talk about blood, because when we come back, I want to tell you the list, the 25 most annoying. And what I want from you is to explain what is it. How do you hate these people? In my mind, are virtuosos. They're virtuosos at this craft.
Oh no! Most of the time, they get the job because of their father, or they're an ex-athlete. And we'll see what the list says.
All right. At least one of them is an ex-athlete that I know of.
I'm sure they are.
All right.
There's a lot of
how's the blood supply? What do we need to know?
What you need to know is we just get out there and donate blood right now. Our usage is pretty high for this time of the year. It's kind of shocking, but we just need more blood. We need O negative specifically, and we need apheresis donors. But we really need everything right now. So just get out there and find a blood mobile and donate blood.
Donate blood.
We are going to be at the Bellevue Public Library today, so go see some of my favorite people, librarians.
There you go.
Ask for a book idea.
Like Lee Schwartz.
They have one. Yeah, and Lee, as always, if you have a good book for me, email it over.
Lee's your number one fan, Galen.
Well, no, I'm Lee's number one fan.
Email it over?
Perfect for me. He emails me book ideas.
Oh, book ideas. Okay, I got it.
Ideas.
I got it. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of the ideas he sends you were books he heard us talk about. We have some interesting books.
I don't know.
You don't think so? None of the books we've talked about.
You do very rarely.
Cut the grade.
You do a lot of autobiographies. I don't think you do a lot of fiction that are related. That I've heard.
Yes,
I don't hear all the show.
I know you don't. Obviously, autobiographies.
Oh,
how many of them do we do?
It seems like you do a lot of biographies.
We do. Yeah, some. Penn Flooring makes Penn Flooring makes that important announcement possible. Not the part about the books, but the part about giving blood. And it is true.
The other reason he doesn't recommend it is because when there's a book that you think I like, you'll give it to me, and then I read it.
Penn Flooring. Thank Penn Flooring for allowing Galen to announce the need for blood, and the specific requests, and where the bloodmobile is, and all of those blood-related things from LifeSouth. Penn Flooring has been doing what they do for over 25 years. They put in beautiful flooring in homes and businesses around town and around the county. Go to see their showroom. You'll find out for yourself. 1201 Southwest 17th Street is the address. 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge, called the McKay-Williams Bridge. Also sponsoring the Galen Unold segment is Palm Garden. They are announcing this week that on Saturday you can take the children to Palm Garden and have them trick-or-treat in a safe environment.
Yep.
It'll be a win-win because the children will just enjoy the time walking through the halls, getting their treats, and the people who live there will just love seeing your beautiful children walking around with their costumes and chatting with them. It'll be a win-win for everybody. So go to Palm Garden with the kids. So we'll take a little break.
Gorgeous facility.
What's that?
It's a gorgeous facility.
Oh, yes.
I haven't been over there.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Yeah.
So we'll take a break, and then we have the 25 most annoying broadcasters in sports, not according to me. My whole mission here is to find out why they're annoying. Connor Muldowney wrote this list, and we'll come right back after this break.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun and warm. With a shower or thunderstorm in the area, high 82 to 86. There can be a shower this evening near the coast, otherwise partly cloudy tonight. Those 64 inland, 69 at the coast. Tomorrow, times of sun and clouds, just a chance of a shower, high 81 to 85. And on Friday, sunshine, some clouds, and quite nice, the high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Palm Garden of Ocala is offering a safe and fun environment for your children to trick or treat on Halloween. Come with your children dressed up in their costumes to Palm Garden, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. Our family will get a kick out of doling out Halloween candy to your family. Trick or treating will be held between 5:30 and 7 p.m. No reservations are necessary, so plan to stop by Palm Garden on Saturday, October 31st, Halloween Day, and have a ghoulish good time.
Have you heard of Hyperdirectory? When looking for local businesses, go to hyper.directory. No need for www, no need for .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to local companies when it matters most. Hyperdirectory is your local business directory partnered with the Ocala Chamber and Economic Partnership to bring you trusted local businesses. Keeping Ocala local. Use hyper.directory. No www, not even .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to businesses when it matters most.
Coming live in concert, Matthew Smith and Indelible Grace, Sunday, November 15th, 6 p.m.
Good night till then.
At Grace Presbyterian Church, just down the road from Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Tickets are only $15 at the door, or get discounted tickets now at eventbrite.com. Or visit Grace Presbyterian on Facebook, or call 629-1537.
All right, 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. The topic that we're talking to Galen Unold about right now is the 25 most annoying broadcasters in sports. And just to recap what I've said, the guys I've heard are all virtuosos at this. This is a craft. This is a talent, but it's also a learned skill. Am I right about that, Galen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's definitely something that you have to practice and hone and fine-tune. Absolutely.
All right, so these are the top 25. Number 25 is Woody Page. If any of these names don't ring a bell, then we'll just move on to the next one. Why do people not like Woody Page?
Woody Page he's an analyst on ESPN, and he hates anybody who goes against any team that's in the state of Colorado. There you go.
Okay.
And he's a columnist, and he writes columns that are anti-everybody, especially he hates Jacksonville. So I used to have him on my radio show back in the day. So
oh, really?
I actually like Woody. I think he's a funny guy.
Connor Muldowney,
why people hate him.
the writer of this article, listed Tim Tebow as his 24th most annoying broadcaster. Everybody
It's because you either love Tim Tebow or you hate him.
Oh, really?
In this area, we love him.
As a broadcaster, what do you think? Is he good?
I don't think he's bad at all as a broadcaster, actually. I think he does a pretty solid job. So, but they just hate Tim Tebow. I mean, that's he could come out and say cure cancer. They're like, I want cancer.
All right, agree or disagree? Dan Martone resembles Tim Tebow amazingly.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh, please.
Really?
Oh, please.
Oh, really?
Oh, my gosh. How can you say that? They look so much alike.
Yeah.
You've never seen Tim Tebow in person?
No, I haven't.
But we've seen.
But I've seen photographs.
They don't look anything alike. All right. I disagree.
We have to take Dan over to PDQ and have him pretend he's Tim and see what
I bet you could fool him. Oh, I guarantee you could fool him. I guarantee you could fool him. Okay.
We got to do that.
Number 23. Don't get stuck on that one. Number 23 of the most annoying broadcasters is Mel Kiper Jr.
Yeah, he does the draft. He's got the hair. He just yells all the time. Everything's yells, and everybody's the greatest. And yeah.
Connor Muldowney, I did copy and paste some of the comments. He put him as a know-it-all.
Yes, that's right.
Mel Kiper's a know-it-all.
He'll tell you he does.
By the way, I wanted to tell you this. I don't know if you heard me say this before, but my friend in New York who's a big Mets fan posted on his Facebook page, listening to MLB Network and Fox Sports 1, I don't know why the Mets are even bothering getting on the plane to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, whenever they have the hometown and they're in front of the home crowd, they kind of lean towards the Kansas City Royals. Kansas City dominated this season. So I do have Kansas City winning in 6 games, but it'll be a good series, as last night was a start of it.
All right, number 22 of the most annoying sportscasters is Tim Hasselbeck.
I'm not a big Tim Hasselbeck fan. I mean, he covers the NFL. He played for a long time. Yeah.
Muldowney calls him a pessimist.
He is. Oh, my gosh, yeah. Unless it's his brother or one of his former teams, he is anti just about everything.
Number 21 is John Gruden.
Yeah, I mean, Gruden, again, does Monday Night Football. He's loud and in your face. And
extremely awkward.
Everything's great. Everything is great for John. Everything is, this guy's fantastic.
Why does Muldowney call him extremely awkward? What does he, look goofy or something?
No, his speech pattern is just odd.
Really?
Yeah, and of course he looks like Chucky. I mean, that's what everybody says.
Oh! Okay. Number 20 is Craig Sager.
Craig Sager, you can't hate him. He's a nothing. He is the ultimate vanilla broadcaster. He's the ultimate Midwest, I don't have an opinion on anything broadcaster, so I guess if that makes him annoying, then he's annoying.
Well, this is what Muldowney wrote. He wrote, Craig Sager is not as annoying as his outfits.
His outfits are horrendous.
The way he dresses.
But again, unless you see him on camera, you would think he was just nothing.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Number 19.
He doesn't wear a blue suit because he's so boring.
Number 19 is Lou Holtz.
He could be annoying, but I love Lou Holtz. I think Lou Holtz is one of the great. I think he's one of the great motivators of any style, any organization, anybody you'll ever meet, ever.
So I'm assuming the higher we go on the list, the more annoying they are, according to this guy.
Correct.
So number 18 is Tim McCarver. Tim McCarver.
Baseball analyst. He's retired now, but did baseball for years. Former catcher. If you're a Braves fan, you don't like him.
Number 17, Dan Day. See, this would make me so. I would be so. I would have a what do you call it? A complex. Mm-hmm. Like if I were doing.
You'd get over that get over that after your regional gig.
Okay.
By the time you got to a national gig.
Dan Dakich. Am I saying his name right? Dakich.
Duquette? I don't.
Dakich. Dan Dakich. Do you know him?
No.
Okay. We'll skip to the next one. Oh, the next one is a lady. Oh, I listened to hers. Pam Ward. Do you know Pam Ward?
Yeah, she does. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to sound like a sexist, but if she was a man, she wouldn't matter. So that's also a credit to her. She does a really solid job, but she's a woman, and so therefore she has some uniqueness to her. I don't mind listening to her.
The clip I heard, there was an injured football player on the field, and the medical people were out there trying to help the guy, and you could hear her like mumbling on her microphone, "Oh, come on, get him off the field already."
Oh, gee.
And I thought, oh man,
that kind of stuff happens.
All right, number 15.
I don't know what the injury is. Sometimes they just milk it, but yeah.
Number 15 is Bill Raftery.
Rafferty.
Okay,
yeah.
They spelled it wrong.
Basketball analyst.
They spelled it wrong there.
Well,
this was a basketball game that I was watching. That he was.
Right, yeah, college basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. Former coach, and he can be very dramatic. And if your team's losing, he is going to annoy you quickly. That is true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you understand what this guy's saying? What does onions mean, Bill? What does onions mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he uses the word onions to mean points or something?
No, to show guts.
Ah, okay. Gosh, I didn't get that at all.
No.
Number 14 of the most annoying sportscasters, Herm Edwards.
Herm Edwards, former coach of the Jets and the Chiefs, and he gets so emotional and he gets so amped up that it can be very exhausting. And he's not an analyst, he doesn't do play-by-play analyst. He mostly does studio stuff. So, yeah, he can be annoying.
Let's see. This is the University of Michigan's Desmond Howard.
Right. He does ESPN stuff. I guess if you're not a Michigan fan, he would be annoying. Like if you're a Michigan State or Ohio State.
Okay, so maybe this guy Muldowney, maybe he's from that part of the country.
Well, again, but that's a big part of the world. So anybody who goes against Michigan, you're not going to like Desmond Howard, especially if you're a Notre Dame fan.
We got 3 minutes. Let's see if we get these all in. Colin Cowherd. Right. Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd.
Okay.
He does a radio show. He was on ESPN. Now he's on Fox 1.
Is he arrogant?
He's opinionated. So anybody who has an opinion like that is going to make people mad. So, yeah.
Chris Collinsworth.
Oh, I can't stand him. He does the NBC broadcast on Sunday night. Former Florida Gator. Grew up in Gainesville. I think he brings 0 to the broadcast. So I'm not a big Collins fan.
You're agreeing with it.
I think he's horrible.
All right, so now we're up to.
He's not as bad as Phil Simms. But he's horrible. I do. I think, and I'm sure there's a lot of Gator fans who are going to be mad at me, but I don't care. He is horrible. Horrible.
Okay. Number 10. Erin Andrews.
Again, she's a female sideline reporter who is made famous by 2 things. She did Dancing with the Stars, and somebody took a picture of her changing.
Oh.
She's a sideline reporter.
Oh, okay.
She can't be annoying. She doesn't do enough. She really made her career because she went to school with Tim Tebow and became friendly with Tim Tebow.
Okay.
Is she the blonde?
She got all kinds of stories from.
Is she the blonde?
She's the blonde.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's a blonde.
All right, number 9, Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, people don't like him because he's opinionated. He's not a analyst. He does a show and he does a radio show. It's actually a really good show. So
he says the columnist here says he overemphasizes words, syllables, and phrases, and
sure he does.
Gives him a headache. All right.
Absolutely.
Number 8.
Yeah, that's all true.
Is Gus Johnson. Number 8 is Gus Johnson.
I love Gus Johnson. Gus Johnson brings emotion to everything. I mean, he'll bring emotion to a 15-yard field goal. So,
all right.
If your team is if your team's being scored on, you hate Gus Johnson.
All right, I'm going to go through
this. If your team scores for Gus Johnson, you love him.
We got the last 7. We got 40 seconds. Joe Buck is 7. Chris Broussard is 6. Rick Riley is 5.
Rick Riley's a columnist.
Dick Vitale is 4.
Dick Vitale.
Yeah. Thank you. 3, Jim Rome. Number 2 is Chris Berman, and number 1 is Skip Bayless.
I agree on number 2. Skip Bayless is just opinionated. I think Chris Berman is way past his prime. but I find it offensive that Phil Simms isn't on this list.
Phil Simms was on the ESPN list. I did see the name earlier, but I didn't copy the ESPN.
He's not even on ESPN. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he's divorced.
Well, I mean, that's where the article is. Where's the Budmobile?
He says nothing.
5 seconds.
At Bellevue Public Library.
Oh, that's right. Galen, have a great day.
Bye, all.
Republican presidential hopefuls are facing off again tonight in debate number 3.
Donald Trump needs to recapture some of the momentum that he's losing to Ben Carson, who now leads him in 2 Iowa polls and in 1 national poll. Last night, Trump pleaded with voters in Sioux City, Iowa, to turn the numbers around for him.
Fox's John Roberts at the University of Colorado Boulder.
This debate and the next one, just 2 weeks from now on the Fox Business Network, could be the most important debates yet, because they could start to winnow out some of those candidates who are polling in the lower single digits. Take, for example, Chris